morning. So I've got my newly acquired Redcat Racing 1/10 scale buggy here, and I've just finished going through and looking at all the screws, installing the batteries, checking out the radio. I've oiled up the air filter. While I was checking the screws, I noticed that there was one screw missing that actually holds the fuel tank in place. There was a hole and a boss on the tank for that. Now, whether that was intentional or not, I don't know. But since I still have a bunch of screws left over from years ago when I did this, I just threaded a screw in there and we're good to go. Now the tank is held in place. I've got a charged up glow igniter. I've already checked all my servo throws. Everything looks good. The high-speed needle was set to, I closed it fully and counted the turns. It was set to 3 turns open. So that's where I've reset it to now. So basically it's just time to actually try and start this for the first time, and then I'm gonna just run it around the street here at about half throttle and begin the break-in process. Hopefully it'll start quickly, but let's see. I've also verified that it rolls freely now. If I put the brakes on, the brakes are engaged. And when I had the air filter off, I made sure that it was closed to what looked like an idle speed. So let's see if we can't prime this. I think there's fuel in there. We'll see. Okay, so I had to make some adjustments here. When I did get the engine running, the throttle stop screw was not set properly and it was open too far, so it was at a very high, it wasn't even at an idle, it was running. The back wheels were going, it wouldn't sit still. So I had to readjust that, and then I readjusted my throttle linkage also to get this set properly. The engine did run, and I may have to pause this because there's some dumbass truck coming down the road, so give me a second. Okay, so let's fire this up again. Okay, so that's the first run of this Redcat Racing 1/10 scale buggy. Believe it or not, believe it, it's quite hot. I didn't even go through a full tank of fuel. There's still a half a tank in there. I'm trying to remember, you know, the setup for these things. The engine feels really hot. Right now it's reading 183. Despite how I had the high-speed needle set, I never really saw a huge trail of smoke coming out of this exhaust. So let me check and see where my high-speed needle is right now. My high-speed needle is about 3 3/4 open. Wait, I'm sorry. Almost 4 turns open, so it should have been extremely rich. I'm going to reopen this. 1, 2, 3, and see if I can't burn the rest of this fuel out. But anyway, a few minor tweaks on some settings. The throttle stop setting for idle, and turning the set and resetting the throttle servo 1 tooth back to keep from binding. And other than that, and the one missing screw on the fuel tank, pretty easy. I mean, it took a little bit to get it fired up for the first time, but overall, not a bad little deal for $160.